Today we have 3 simulator setups, all with different Thrustmaster hardware. Every time I complete a hot lap, I'll move on to a different simulator, each one going up in value as we go. My end goal is to see how close I can get to Lucas Blakely's time.
And I'll be going in the opposite direction, seeing that if I can keep my lap time and fend off Ben, well, my sim setup gets less expensive. Can Ben close the margin? Let's find out.
Ah, come on, stay on the track.
I am locked in right now.
On the limits, it's very oversteery. For my first hot lap, I'll be jumping into the Thrustmaster T248R. This is an entry-level wheel. The pedals feel quite nice. It feels like there's a load cell underneath my left foot. Comes with a clutch pedal as well, so pretty versatile for all forms of racing. But today, we're focused on F1.
Okay, so let me run through the equipment that I'll be using in round 1. Starting off with the wheelbase, we have the Thrustmaster T818 Direct Drive, which should offer us, you know, really premium sort of feeling, definitely up there at the highest end of performance that you can get from a wheelbase. We have the SF1000 replica wheel. We've got a lovely LED display, very sharp. Simple things like the upshifts and downshifts, the button presses all feel really nice. And then moving on to the Thrustmaster T LCM pedals, which top of the range. It's really satisfying to press the brake. It should give you a nice modulation to manipulate the car. Let's see where we can start off. Set ourselves a baseline. All right, Ben, time to warm up on our equipment for the first round. So this should be very fun to see how we get on.
Let's see how we get on. Cold tyres, cold minds.
Cold tyres and cold minds. I've never heard that expression before.
From my part of the world, it's a very common saying.
I see.
Yeah, straight up, getting a nice positive click from the upshifters. Obviously, you can really tell that this is a belt-driven wheel. You've got that classic noise. The forces that I'm getting, albeit not the strongest I've ever felt, but you know, it gives you enough detail to give you a baseline of what the car's doing.
Yeah, the feeling through the steering I've got right now is probably the biggest thing that jumps out, is I've got a good feel for what the car's sort of doing through the corner. It gives me a confidence to attack it, play with what the car's doing a little bit mid-corner, use a lot of the track in particular. I feel like that's where you gain a lot of confidence.
Absolutely, and with a high-end gear like that, you're able to run, you know, really oversteery, on the nose kind of setups. Me, I'm kind of struggling a little bit. For entry-level users, they're not going to be running super sweaty, you know, esports, oversteery kind of setups.
The brake is very responsive, so you can really play with the car quite a lot through that alone, which is quite nice.
Don't necessarily need a load cell for this game.
If you can set it up right, it does the job okay.
If you can feel like where your foot is on the pedal in the, you know, in response to maximum pressure or whatever, then you're able to get a pretty decent feeling.
With that, I think that my practice is done, Ben. I think it's time to set a baseline lap time for ourselves.
Hey, let's get into it and let's see what we can do. Here we go, turn 1. I'm 3 seconds up on my delta. It was an okay turn 1.
I have no idea where my delta is.
Heavy braking for turn 3. Oh my word, that was a massive lockup.
I am locked in right now. Oh.
Turn 4, not ideal.
It's so hard to learn the braking in such a quick succession.
But I'm able to feel what I need to feel. Good detail from the curve there, actually, better than I was expecting it to be.
Feedback gives me a good bit of confidence, to be fair.
Decent strength in this T248. Second last corner. Really have to trust the car. I've gone a little bit wide. I've disallowed.
And across the line.
It's not the best lap in the world, but it's a 107.361.
All right, so I did a 105.6. The start of the lap, I was over braking at the beginning, but like what I found really good was like as the lap went on, the feeling got better and better.
If I go again with the same setup, I think I could find a second or two. So let alone when I jump into the higher end stuff, I think there's like a lot more time to find. So I don't know, mate. I think you might be getting nervous as I find pace.
We'll see how I do as we go through the equipment with some more laps. So we'll see.
Let's do it.
Okay, so for this round, we are going to be using the same equipment. Here we have the Thrustmaster T598, which has a constant torque of 5 Newton meters and is crucially direct drive. I'm expecting it to be a smoother experience, really excited. And yeah, Ben's going to be watching along, giving me some backseat driving tips, I'm sure. Without further ado, let's jump into some practice laps. Immediately I can feel that every time I upshift or downshift, there's a jolt through the steering. Nice little immersion factor, if you like. Throttle's nice and smooth on the delivery.
And this is one of Thrustmaster's newer products, so it's got the benefit of the zero cogging technology, the gear jolt, like you said, and Honestly, I've already tried it myself, and it's one of those really cool features that you don't miss until you don't have it anymore.
Yes.
Like you didn't realize you needed it until you've got it.
Very smooth delivery, honestly. That's sort of the main takeaway that I'm getting at the moment. Pedals are linear. It's kind of nice, yeah, sort of getting the feeling for it in the heavy braking zones.
How are you finding the build quality of like the steering wheel, for example?
Got a nice grip, I would say, with the wheel. It means you can drive with like softer hands, which means you can react quicker, react nicer. Very nice feeling through the steering and, you know, gripping the wheel itself. Yeah, that is my practice laps done. I think without further ado, let's crack on with it.
Good luck, mate. No pressure.
Pressure? What do you mean?
No pressure. You might be used to cameras and, you know, crowds watching you,
No,
but
no.
you've never had Benjamin Daly sit next to you on a hot lap before, so
I couldn't find the DRS button.
again, that's the pressure coming in right there.
Into turn one.
Oh, that was on the limit.
That was decent track usage. I'm a bit down, but it's okay.
Turn 3, uphill
Very,
approach,
very easy to lock up into here.
which you've done.
Once I've done exactly that,
Oh
that
my
helps.
word, that was just like my first lap.
It's all right. We're only 1 point something off. Let me work some magic now.
Got to lock in now. You've got a bit of grass in your tyres too. That brake bias is very far forwards.
Drop that back a little bit. That probably didn't help. And just
Oh,
forward.
hesitation with the throttle there as well. That's the thing, like when one little thing goes wrong, it then seems to affect the rest of the lap.
Yeah, but that said, to be fair, with that mistake, I've not actually ended that far off. So I think that without the mistake, we lost
Yeah.
quite a lot of time. Even with the change of equipment, it was a very, very smooth experience. I have nothing but good things to say. It was, yeah, you'll notice it yourself. It's just really, really smooth. I think it's your turn. Just don't lock up like I just did, and you'll be perfectly fine.
So here we go for my first practice laps of the T598, the Raceline LTE pedals and the circular rim. So straight away, I've got the most experience with this wheel in particular because I drove it on my home setup for a few months, and I can tell that on this newer firmware setting, it actually is quite smooth, like you said. And this feels not one step up, but this feels a couple of steps up from what I was just driving with before. And then you pair that with the pedals as well. You can actually adjust the pedals of the spring, like travel. You can make it shorter. You've got a stiffer spring in there for the brake pedal if you want to change the feeling of that to your liking.
Gives you a good feeling, doesn't it?
Yeah,
That's good.
so we'll push the limit even more, hopefully without making mistakes, and we'll see what we can do on the lap that counts.
All right, Ben, here you go then. Time for your stage 2 lap, shall we call it?
Yes, I did a lot of waffling on my proper lap, so I'm going to lock in.
Right, so you're heading into turn 1 now, up to 8th gear, using all the road on the inside, properly stamping on the brake pedal, down to 3rd gear. Maybe compromise the exit a little
I
bit
did,
there.
yeah, I
but
probably downshifted when I shouldn't have.
Don't do what I did into here though.
No.
Don't lose a bunch of time.
Bit of a lock up.
You got a decent enough exit, used 2nd gear, revved it out a bit.
Luckily for me, you left the brake bias settings on
Yeah,
the settings
you
it should be on.
benefited from my struggle because I had the brake bias at whatever it was.
Getting good confidence through here. I
I
can
was going
push
to
pretty
say
hard.
the high speed, your inputs are aggressive, but it looks controlled. So
Yeah.
it's a good thing. 2 more corners to go now on the lap. Oh, a bit of understeer.
No. I left it too late.
Keep on the track, keep
I
on
got
the
a bit
track.
too confident there. Up to the line.
Good
Ooh.
improvement from your first lap time from your first round. So that's
I did, yeah.
I think it shows that the progression of equipment is helping for sure.
Some little mistakes here and there, but yeah, the progression was definitely there. Good step up in equipment and slight step up in my driving, but there's still a little bit more time to find. One more round, mate. It's all to play for. Here we are for the final round then, and I'm very excited. Let's see if there really is a difference between the high end and the entry level stuff. I'm now running the SF1000 steering wheel attached to the T818 direct drive wheelbase, and I'm running the TLCM load cell pedals. I'm thinking I can knock off about 2 seconds off my time, maybe even challenge Lucas here. I do have the advantage of going last here, and you're naturally going to go a little bit quicker as you go, so I've got the best of the conditions here. Let's see if I can make the most of it.
Okay, so I'm now using the equipment Ben had in the first round. This is the T248R bundle. So this is really ideal equipment for if you're looking to, just get yourself started out in the sim racing space. I think that you can probably still get a really high level of performance out of it. So I'd say that it should be ideal for that sort of thing. And yeah, now time to put it to the test around the track. All right, Ben, so we have 2 practice laps now to get familiar with our equipment for this final round. I think we should just crack on, jump into it, see how we feel.
Yep, let's jump in. Let's
go.
Compare.
All right, so let's see how this feels in comparison to the equipment that we've been using. So I'm now on the entry level equipment, but so far, honestly, the feeling on the braking and the throttle has felt quite good so far.
On my end, I've got a stronger brake pedal, which I'm starting to see why you broke so hard on your hot lap on this rig.
It's really responsive, yeah?
Yeah, it is. I have to like adjust to that new threshold grip limit that I have now. So yeah, all positive feelings so far. And even on the straight with this 10 Newton meter direct drive wheel, I can feel all the bumps on the back straight. Just yeah, the detail is definitely there. So I'm definitely glad that I'm ending on this rig. It feels really good.
The biggest difference that I can feel at the moment is definitely through the steering. Just not as much detail as compared to the direct drive, which is naturally to be expected. It's nice and constant, so it at least gives you something stable to work with, something that you can build on lap for lap, build your confidence.
I think the baseline force feedback on the belt-driven wheel is there, and you can always play with the settings in the in-game settings to kind of bring you up to a decent level of feeling. With a bit more time for both of us, I think, we can get to a pretty competitive kind of lap time. We are now going to be doing this for real. So let's see, final rounds. How much time can I find? This is Q3, the last run of Q3, and we are both fighting for pole position.
When as we approach turn 1, up to 8th gear.
Nice and brave into turn 1. Downhill approach, easy to lock up, easy to do track limits on entry and exit.
Nice and clean through turn 1 for me. That was actually really nice.
I'm not giving away too much. You can have to read my poker face. Turn 3. I've locked up a little bit.
Oh, I was a bit wide at the apex, but that's okay.
It's good to hear you've made a mistake too.
I was nice and committed on the brakes, so that was all right.
I am looking pretty good here, but I know that you're quick in the second half of the lap here.
I'm really impressed with the braking. It feels really nice.
But now I've got to nail these high-speed corners. You were really good through here. On the limits, it's very oversteering.
Oh, he's sending it, he's sending it.
Ah, come on, stay on the track.
Nice and smooth through here.
Last 2 corners. Maximum attack. That was pretty good. Deal with the oversteer. DRS to the line.
There we go, cross the line. All right, so I did on this equipment a 106.0, so I was a few tenths shy of where I was on that equipment.
Really solid though.
Pretty happy with that, to jump over to this stuff and still be within the ballpark with limited practice. So that was all right. How would it feel for you going the other direction?
It was really good. I'd much rather be my route and start off having to feel it out as an entry level wheel, as you guys probably would too, and you'd go through your sim racing journey and upgrade as you go. I think going third in this was the right way to go, and I found quite a bit more time with the extra laps of practice and all that. I ended up doing a 105.1.
You got it down, nice.
But I invalidated. So
there we go.
If I kept it clean, maybe you could knock a tenth or 2 off that.
I think I deserve another shot then. All right, so that is us wrapped up, Ben. Kicking it off with round 1, I was on the high-end equipment and you were on the entry-level equipment. We set a baseline lap. I believe I did a 105.6 and you kicked off with, I believe it was a 107.6.
I think I definitely had the easier, easing introduction into that, whereas for you have to deliver straight away on the high-end equipment. So you did really well, to be fair. For me, there was almost no pressure to get that lap in. So we move on to round 2.
I actually made a little error on my lap, maybe lost a second and a bit. I've left the brake bias a bit too forward into turn 3, so I ended up doing a 106.1, which all in all, given the amount of time that I lost, which you'll see on the Delta, I think it was okay given the progression, improvement, and not to lose so much to the first lap.
And I had a good improvement too. I did find that second and a half I was looking for. I did a 5.9. A little bit quicker than you, but you had that massive mistake to your credit. But then we move on to round 3.
I think I did a 6.0 in the end, which even then, I think there was still more margin to go. I think the lap times were, for me, they were very consistent, but for all very different reasons. My first lap start was definitely a good bit too slow, but again, it was our first laps. And then as we progressed on, obviously you start to get more comfortable.
I still felt like there was a little bit of time on the board. I did a 5-1, but it was invalidated. So, you know, you could take that with a pinch of salt, but if I kept it on the track, yeah, I mean, I do like to corner cut, I do, but...
yeah, I forgot that, is it?
Well, that's it for the video today, guys. If you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, see plenty more racing game content. And yeah, if you want to check out any of the products that we linked down in the description, check out the Thrustmaster gear, and we'll see you next time.